The first step to having a difficult conversation is to frame it with positive, values-based aspirations. Values are principles with universal merit. They're abstract goals that anyone can buy into wanting to strive towards. By framing the difficult conversation with a values-based aspiration, you're directing people's attention away from petty arguments or subjective interpretations of who is to blame and towards the aim of working towards a common good. Here are 3 example types of aspirations that tend to work well. First is aspirations to help others achieve their goals. Second are aspirations for your ability to connect and contribute. And third, aspirations for a better culture, environment, or processes. Let's go through some examples. So the first example aspiration type is to help others achieve their goals. This first type of aspiration should be used with caution because there are many times where saying you want to help someone else when they did not ask for it could be perceived as unwelcome, unsolicited advice. However, aspiring to help others reach their goals could be appropriate in some situations, such as if you're their close friend or their supervisor. Example aspirations for helping others could be, I'd like to help you engage others with your ideas. I'd like to help you get buy-in for your ideas. I'd like to discuss how we can improve your efficiency at work. The second type of aspiration is the desire to improve your own capabilities to connect and contribute. Examples could be your desire to do better work, to engage more effectively with others or the person you're talking to, or your ability to contribute to common goals. Examples of aspirations for your own abilities to connect and contribute could sound like, I want our discussions to be effective. I want to be able to complete my tasks to a high standard. I want to make sure I got my full point across. A third type of aspiration is for the quality of the general environment, culture, best practice, or standard procedures. Some examples are, I'd like to stick to jokes where everyone feels on the same side. I'd like office housework to be shared equally. I want everyone to feel safe learning from mistakes. Here are some examples of how aspirations can be used within a conversation. You can say them naturally where it comes up and where it makes sense to have them said. So, for example, instead of just saying, can you please wait until I'm finished before responding? You could say, I want to make sure I get my full point across. So can you wait until I'm finished before responding? Instead of only saying, I'd like more discussion of what went wrong, you could say, I'd like more discussion of what went wrong so we can learn from our mistakes. Instead of only saying, I need clearer instructions, you could say, I'd like clearer instructions because I want to understand how to complete my tasks properly. Here are some do's and don'ts for aspirations. Say what you want, not what you don't want. Saying what you don't want is less inspiring and can also be more likely to sound like criticism. So instead of saying, I want to stop endless debates, you can say, I want to find a way to have more efficient discussions. Instead of, I want to avoid offensive jokes, you can say, I want to stick to jokes where everyone feels on the same side. Another thing is to be aware of any aspirations that sound like demands of other people. For example, saying, I want you to present more effectively can sound like a demand. You can make this sound less of a demand by shifting it to an aspiration to help, assuming it's appropriate. For example, you might say, I'd like to discuss how we can improve your presentation. Another example of a demand disguised as an aspiration could be, I want you to keep me updated on progress. You could shift this to an aspiration for holding up general best practice, such as, I want everyone to be giving regular progress updates. By making it about general best practice, you're moving the focus away from the individual and toward the general environment that you want to uphold.